It wasn't until after the fact that realized that I had some PTSD left over from Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Walking around in the neighborhoods, you didn't know who might suddenly, try to stab you or shoot you, or a lot of stress, a lot of strain, a lot of unknowns, and a lot of fear. And then, of course, just collecting intelligence and seeing what the effects were during the active shooting and then after the active shooting. It's not as clean and clinical as you would see on the news. When I got out of the Navy, I was able to land a good job as an executive assistant. It allowed me to buy this house. Thought life was good, thought it was supposed to be, the way it was supposed to be, except for the continued nightmares. This is where I first, was introduced to drugs. This is where it really just took on a life of its own, took over my life. I ended up losing that good job downtown, ended up, homeless on the streets. From this point, when things got really bad here, that I ended up looking to get into my first stint at rehab, and that was the Eagle's Nest at the VA. When I came out, I really had no place to go, so I found myself right back down here in this neighborhood. And unfortunately back with the same people, around the same influences, and it was a very short period of time before I had relapsed again. The appeal to doing methamphetamine, I wouldn't sleep. And I could go, weeks, days, weeks, even a month without actually sleeping. And my main thing was, it kept me from having the nightmares. It made me feel good, and I didn't have to dream. I had been picked up on several charges for possession. I was in a work release program. During that time frame, I had a lot of difficulties breathing. I couldn't lay down, didn't have the energy to walk up a flight of stairs. First night out, I got released and realized I really had a problem, and I was really struggling. Bus driver found me wandering pretty lost and incoherent, and I just told him, I need to go to the VA. I eventually got into the emergency department, and that's when they discovered that I was in heart failure. They immediately admitted me to telemetry and started treating me there. I was assigned a telehealth nurse who was fantastic. She really cared about me and, talked to me every single day. This is also where I started reconnecting with other veterans and feeling that camaraderie again, feeling that comfort, that being welcome. Many veterans work at the VA. And then, of course, that's also where I learned about the CWT program.
Compensated Work Therapy is a program for veterans enrolled in mental health who want to get back into the workforce. These veterans sometimes struggle with homelessness, substance abuse, other disabilities. A lot of them are very talented and have the capability of going into employment, and that's what we want to do, is help them get to that place.
I had come across a bulletin board that had some inspection findings posted on it, and it indicated that there was a safety manager. And because that's my background, I had a background in safety, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. So when I met with my CWT counselor, I asked him I saw that there's a safety department here. Any chance I could go work in safety?
He handed me a notebook, and it was all the previous work he'd done in the safety world. He had procedures, he had policies. That impressed me right off the gate.
He brought me on, and he's like, yep. He took a look at the binder, and he's like, you're exactly what I need. They actually established a position so that they could hire me. They hired me on full time, and now I'm the safety manager. So
I'm very proud of him, where he started and where he is now. There's no upper limit to what Brian can do.
Since I've been full-time employee, I've had CWTs, working for me. Vast majority of them gotten hired on, either hired on here or hired on a good job on the outside. But it's really how much you put into the program on how successful you will be. The VA's really grown what it offers. It's been great to see how much different it is now from when I first started coming up here, needing help. So that there's the food bank, there's ways to get into housing. All of this stuff is now available, and staff are generally very knowledgeable about it and really willing to try to help you connect with those resources.
These are folks that have had difficulties in their lives, and they're trying to work through their difficulties. And we can provide them ways of improving themselves and also making a difference.
One of the things that I've been able to do since I've been here is participate in the work group that set up the needle exchange program. And I was able to use my experience as a former drug abuser, to help them understand kind of what some of the nuances that the program needed to have. There have been many things, many ways I've been able to give back, but I'm glad to be able to give back to the system that's helped me and can help so many others.
All the ways that you're